Raw snub. How Camilla defied her palace advisors. Camilla Parker Bowles has remained silent over Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's royal crisis, but the Duchess of Cornwall has weathered her own battle against palace staff and defied their orders. According to biographer, Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall, has taken a backseat amidst this month's royal crisis, remaining in Scotland while her husband, Prince Charles, attended Monday's Sandringham summit. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex were under particularly scrutiny for appearing to go against palace advice. In releasing the unprecedented Instagram statement last week, the Duchess of Cornwall is no stranger to adverse publicity herself, which she weathered during and after Charles's marriage to Princess Diana. However, Camilla has her own battles inside palace walls, according to an expert, royal biographer Christopher Anderson, in his 2016 book Game of Crowns, delves into the difficult years following Princess Diana's death, when Charles battled the negative opinion of both the Queen and the British public in establishing Camilla as his new partner. Mr. Anderson writes, starting back in 2002, when the Queen's trusted treasurer, Sir Michael Pate, became Prince Charles's private secretary, Camilla ramped up her efforts to be publicly seen and accepted as the next sovereign's rightful life companion, even as she promoted an image of herself in the media as guileless, garden-tending matron. Camilla furiously battles senior courtiers behind the scenes. According to former members of the Prince of Wales staff, she spent hours strategizing with spin doctors, leaking self-aggrandizing stories to the press, sniping at perceived foes, and currying favor with the crown. Former private secretary to Princess Diana, Patrick Jeffson, told the author, despite her carefully cultivated image as the comfortable country woman, Mrs. PB operates as a high-powered PR strategy. Mr. Anderson continues, as far as Camilla was concerned, the small slights from the palace added up. The author explains how for some of Charles's official visits, he was pointedly informed that Camilla wasn't invited. However, Camilla began to take matters into her own hands and show up anyway. Mr. Anderson continues, she had made the bold decision to defy the palace's own senior staffers, who feared the unpopular Mrs. PB would be unwelcome distraction at a time when Charles needed as much goodwill as he could muster. Such bitter rows between Camilla and Charles' inner circle of 7 top advisors out of Prince of Wales's total staff of 125 were common. Diana had called the St. James's crew, who catered to her husband, the enemy. Now that Camilla has essentially replaced Diana, she called her husband's advisors, yes, the enemy. Camilla's reported standoffs with the palace staff has parallels with criticism of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle in recent days after their shock royal exit announcement last week. Speaking on the podcast Pod Save the Queen, Daily Mirror royal editor Russell Myers gave his opinion that Harry and Meghan are disregarding their own palace aides. He said they are certainly being advised by people who have zero understanding of the royal family has worked previously. They have gone against the Queen's wishes. The Queen would have wanted to keep everything in-house to try to formulate a plan of how this could work. The palace didn't know this was happening, and yet Harry and Meghan published a very fancy website about how they see their new roles working, and it's left everyone absolutely dumbfounded. He added, who is doing the due diligence when they haven't got the whole vehicle of the royal family behind them now? They've got potentially profit-driven companies behind them, like the PR arm that they're using in the United States, and other advisors that they're taking on. Speaking on the podcast in July, he also postulated that Harry and Meghan were not taking advice from the palace aides. He said, it seems they are careering from one disaster to another. People I'm speaking to who are close to the Sussexes and close to the household are saying that they just don't take advice. That's a major problem for them.